Love how I'm just kind of pulling out into traffic. Oh, yep, just definitely hit a car. Okay, yeah, so I don't know really where I'm driving whatsoever. There's actually a GPS over there that tells me I think I'm going the wrong way. Oh, this is, steering is a little sensitive here, so, okay. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bad Ideas Garage. I'm sitting in a 1992 Freightliner. This is a simulator though, and I've been volunteering at the Pacific Northwest Truck Museum in Brooks, Oregon at the Powerland set up museums. They're amazing. If you are anywhere near Salem, Oregon, definitely check them out. It's a series of independent museums, and I'm in the simulator, and so I'm going to be working on it today, and that's what our video is all about, is putting together the simulator that was given to the museum, and I'm doing a little bit of upgrade, so that's what our video is about today. Hope you enjoy. Going through here, I'm actually trying to figure out how this is all set up because I didn't build it. And so there's gauges and controls. You know, obviously most of this doesn't work. It's pretty cool the way that these are set up is that when you press the brake, it actually puts air into the cab and presses it up using pneumatic pressure. So that's pretty exciting. And then I figured out that this is set up to a very old 1994 Thrustmaster steering wheel. So we're going to see if that can work. We're also going to see if this can get connected as well, because it almost feels like it's connected down here into something and it's been modified. Over here, that's the old computer. That is a Windows XP era computer that runs a really old simulator. It's just not keeping up. And then this screen right here. This screen is modern, but it runs through S-Video, and there's a weird splitter that is just really bad quality. So we have this, which was donated to us. This is a newer Dell. It's got a lot of RAM in it. It does not have a dedicated graphics card, but we're running American Truck Simulator, and which one runs just fine on the Intel graphics chip that's in there. So we're going to hook all this up, and I'm going to be using this to see if I can adapt the old Thrustmaster, the joystick port, to USB, and we're going to see if this works. Alrighty, so we're replacing this screen, which is really cool. Yeah, so I was actually able to get this to talk using that controller, which is exciting. So this is going to run off a different type of video port because this actually has two outputs out the back of it. And yeah, we're going to see if we can get the configuration all set. Okay, so we have the new monitor in. Not quite sure why it's not quite center. However, it's good. Got HDMI, and then we had two individual cables running to the back. Coming inside here, got some great music going on. And so my job now is to get this to function, because as you can see, it's not quite centered. So I think I'm gonna be able to get this to work though. Hello and welcome again to the Pacific Northwest Truck Museum. I'm working on the truck once again, but I think I have everything sorted finally. So I came out here a couple days ago, actually it was a couple weeks ago now, and I was looking at this mechanism, and I noticed that it was just not in the right spot. So right here, this was built, a long time ago, and this is actually a Thrustmaster from back in the day. And this was it was all the way to the left, and there's this resistor that was right there. And so what I did was I just bypassed it, and I put some of these crimps on, and these are just kind of temporary purposes for testing. And it actually seems to work. When I'm moving the steering wheel around, you could see that the axis is actually moving where it needs to go. So that's really good news, so I don't have to figure out some of the custom stuff that's in here. Okay, here we are in the cab, and you'll see I've set this to inverted, so when I turn left, yeah, it's turning left, there we go, turn right, it's turning right. So excellent, this is working, it's actually really smooth, and so I'm going to adjust this dead zone a little bit, and that should get this mostly dialed into where we need it to be, right there. This is very exciting, people. Yes, and yes. So I don't have to move the steering. It seems like it's actually really sensitive now. So when I just move it a little bit, it moves the steering wheel quite a bit. So I'm going to just play with it a little bit more. All right, so down here this is not the best job in the world, but these are actually probably going to need to be replaced. I just have them kind of zip tied. This is how we're doing the force feedback for now. And it's because anything more than about this, the old school steering wheel doesn't really like. But the cool thing is this pedal does work, and when you press this, you hear that? You got some pneumatic pressure, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what we got. And so now I'm going to learn how to play American Truck Simulator, and it's going to be lots of fun. All right, here we have the gameplay. So that seems to be working pretty well. I have it set in completely automatic mode, where it's just, you know, acceleration pedals forward, and then when you press on the brakes, it'll slow down, and then if you press it hard enough, it'll start to go in reverse. And then if you press it really hard, that's when the hydraulics come in. It's pretty cool. So yeah, pretty happy with how this turned out. There's a lot of things you can do with this game, including getting a functional shifter. So I think eventually I'm going to replace this entire setup, just because I think we can get it a lot more realistic if we use a different game controller. But maybe next summer when I can work on that. And I love how I'm just kind of pulling out into traffic. Oh, yep, just definitely hit a car. Okay, yeah, so I don't know really where I'm driving whatsoever. There's actually a GPS over there that tells me I think I'm going the wrong way. Oh, this is... steering is a little sensitive here. Okay, so if you find yourself at the Pacific Northwest Truck Museum, you should definitely check out the simulator. Gosh, I'm so happy that I got it working. Eventually, I think I'm going to replace that steering wheel setup, just because it is so old and it was really hard to get it to be not so sensitive. So if you happen to find yourself in Brooks, Oregon, Salem, Oregon area, check out the Pacific Northwest Truck Museum. They got a lot of really fun stuff. They actually got another building that's over there. Come check us out. Gosh, July and August, there's the Steam Up, which is great, where there's a bunch of steam equipment out here that's on, functioning. And then we have a truck show that's coming up in August 2022. So come check us out and check out the simulator that I worked on. Thanks, and remember to like and subscribe to the Bad Ideas Garage.